it's always best to have your own sound. I mean, you get a sound that's nobody sound like you.
You are now listening to the BV Mobile Apps Podcast. The show is designed to help you grow your mobile app audience and get advice from experts in your industry. Now, here's your host, Sean Garvey.
Hey, what's going on, family? It's the architect himself, Sean Garvey, the host of BV Mobile Apps Podcast. Thank you so much for tuning in to this edition of the podcast. We hope you enjoyed it. Now, if you want to learn more information about BV Mobile Apps, or if you are in the market of getting your app customized, what are you waiting for? Go to their website right now, bvmobileapps.com. That's bvmobileapps with an S at the end.com. Get your app customized today, bvmobileapps.com. In the meantime, I have a special guest in the studio all the way from Miami, Florida. I hear that the weather is beautiful out there at this time.
It's always beautiful.
It's always beautiful.
Always.
He is a music producer, songwriter, and A&R, born and raised in Miami, Florida, and he has an app called Beats By Ced. Today's theme, we are talking to potential and aspiring producers how they can make money in today's music industry. And joining with us on the BV Mobile Apps Podcast, we have music producer, songwriter, an entrepreneur. It's fair to say entrepreneur, right?
Mm-hmm.
We have Ced Wynez in the studio. Ced,
what's going on?
Good day.
Mr. Garvey, appreciate you for having me, man.
Thank you for taking the time out of your busy schedule to speak to me and our BV Mobile Apps Podcast audience.
Yes, sir.
I am so ready to get a lot of great information out of you, being that you are a music producer and songwriter. How long have you been in this profession as a music producer and songwriter?
Okay. I started in Savannah, Georgia. I was going to college in Savannah, and I brought a Triton. When they emptied my bank account, I brought a Triton keyboard, and somebody gave me an MPC. A DJ gave me an MPC, and that's how I started making tracks. It was back in like 2005. So still learning the business and everything, and learning how to make beats. Beats, of course, they sucked, when you first started out. But and I didn't start taking it, as seriously until I moved to Atlanta. I moved back to Miami in like 2007, and I was working at a Guitar Center, and that's when I started kind of learning production better. Being around more engineers, being around more people that played instruments and been in bands and stuff like that, and learn how to run live sound and everything like that. So when I moved to Atlanta in 2010, that's when I really started taking more into learning the business and step up my production game as well. You know what I mean? So yeah, it's been in going on a while. My math is right, but I would say about 14 years.
14 years.
Yeah, if my math is right.
Any instrument that you happen to pick up from your earlier years or starting out, any instrument you picked up and played it that may have sparked your interest, like maybe a guitar or a flute?
It's funny. I love brass. I love like trumpets and saxophone. My brother plays saxophone, but me, I took to the keys. Even though I'm not the greatest keyboard player, but that's what I've been trying to learning and get better. It's funny. I can tell somebody how I can tell a person, hey man, you can sing in the key of the key of G or D minor or whatever like that. But me actually trying to play it is a little hard. But I definitely, working with musicians, you know what I'm saying, and being a producer, it's definitely making it a little bit more easier because I can, hear it. I got a great ear, so I believe I got a great ear, and I can work with musicians and tell them, hey man, play this for me, and they're like, oh man, and they'll play it, and we rock it.
As I mentioned just a few moments ago, we're talking about how producers can make money in today's music industry. And in the 21st century that we're in, the music industry is different. It is not the same as it was many years ago or in a different decade, especially with the advance of technology. But we're going to peel that layer off in just a few moments regarding how producers can survive in the music industry with technology being so enhanced than ever before. But I want to educate our listeners because you are a professional producer. And when I have conversations with people that want to get into the business, they think that producing and making beats is the same thing. You shaking your head.
It's
like
not.
It's not.
It's
There's
not.
a difference between being a producer and being a beat maker.
Yes, it is.
Break that down to us.
So pretty much a beat maker is pretty much self-explanatory. And in the songwriter world, you're a composer. You could consider a composer. Mm-hmm. So you basically, you make all, you write the music on a guitar. You may play a flute, and then you make the beats, the drums. So you compose the whole track. Mm-hmm. Now you can give that track to a producer. So he'll take that track and produce get the right artist on it. Fine, and two, like producers, they do more than just produce music. They find studios, they find the right artists. Maybe they need the part, a keyboard, a piano part need to be replayed, so they got to find a musician. And also, a lot of people don't know this too. They place the record. Mm. You know what I'm saying? So, right. Being a producer, it's a lot more layers under that. That you're a beat maker, you just make the beat, compose the beat, whatever. But you can actually give that beat, to a producer, and they can take it and get the right artist or get the right songwriters to write to that track and get the right artist on it and place it. You know what I'm saying? So, but sometimes the producer and the beat maker be as one. Like such as myself, I can make the beats and I can also produce. But you also have a lot of producers out here who don't necessarily compose tracks. Mm-hmm. They produce the music. You know what I'm saying? You got some producers, they don't play nothing. They don't play anything. So if you listen, to all the listeners out there, if you want to produce music, you don't necessarily have to be, a great musician. You can, you have a great ear and you know how to place these records and stuff like that. You can definitely be a producer out here,
So many producers out there in the music industry. There's a laundry list of producers that I say are terrific and incredible. Which producer influenced you and helped develop your sound?
Man, definitely Timbaland. I would say Timbaland and DJ Toop. Those two, like, if anybody, I always say this, well, if you like Toop production, you like mine. Not saying that I sound like him or vice versa, but DJ Toop, I love his production, and a lot of records that he did, you wouldn't know that he done. Mm-hmm. So but definitely Timbaland first out. Like Timbaland, I mean, the man crafted his own sound and in R&B at that. He didn't get into hip hop till later on, but definitely Timbaland and DJ Toop later on, and he pretty much, DJ Toop was the one that pretty much started the trap. And started that trap sound.
Right.
You know what I mean? So,
right.
He innovated within himself, you know what I'm saying? So definitely those two was really my influence.
Mm-hmm. Okay, so let's dive right into it because you talked about those great producers, Timbaland and DJ Toop. And like I said, there's so many producers that are out there that have their own unique sound. One of my favorite producers is Jay Dilla. JD.
Yeah, JD.
Yeah. And I love the Neptunes. I love Swiss Beats. I even love Kanye West production work. But is that one of the key elements of surviving in the music industry is having your own sound, having your own rhythm, your own melody to differentiate yourself from other producers? Yeah,
it's always best to have your own sound. I mean, you get a sound that's nobody sound like you. And especially in today where it seems like every producer, every beat maker is copying each other, because sometimes you hear like the same 10 beats on the radio, right. Or, you go to the club and open mics, the rappers rapping on the same 10 beats. But, every producer and / beat maker should always work hard to craft their own sound. It works every single time. Every single time when the producer have their own, when you have your own sound, you stand out from the pack. You know what I'm saying? You on the road to being successful, and have longevity in this industry as well. So you always just try to have your own sound, always.
Can a aspiring producer make money right away by making a beat today? Is it as easy as it sounds? Can they instantly make money right then and there just by producing one track?
No, I mean, I heard some say they had, but I mean, in my opinion, I don't believe it, because you have to get, first of all, you got to be good. Even though they made it easier for you to be a beat maker or be a producer. They made it easier, you know, with loops and access to samples and stuff like that, and with these softwares, you know, they don't, you know, a lot of these softwares is under $500. You can get a laptop and a MIDI keyboard and go on Splice and be good to go.
Right.
You know, but you still have to, you know, you still will have to, you still have to be good. You still have to be talented. The beat has to be dope. That's just what it is. So, you know, you got to be good first. So, I really don't believe that if you start today, make a beat today, you'll make $1. You know, because it has to be good. You gotta be good. Unless you got some ties in the industry or something like that. Maybe you know somebody or whatever. But if you just some young 20-year-old in somewhere in you know, Tuscaloosa, Alabama, and making beats, it's gonna be very, very hard for you to make the beat today, put it on SoundCloud, and make some money off of it, or, you know, the other sites and stuff like that.
So what type of equipment should one have starting out?
Oh, starting out? Oh, man, laptop and a MIDI keyboard to start out.
A MIDI keyboard.
And
like what kind of brand? Is like a particular brand? What kind of brand for a MIDI keyboard? What do you recommend?
Particularly don't matter, but Akai makes pretty good MIDI keyboards. So if you know, they're a little bit more expensive, but you can start with Akai. You know, they got MIDI keyboards ranging from $100 to $300. So it just depends on your budget. But definitely a good computer, laptop, I would recommend. And
well, why do you recommend a laptop? I've seen so many producers produce beats off of a desktop. But I guess you say laptop in case that person wants to be mobile with it.
Exactly.
Right.
That's why I'm about to go. Just in case, you know, they want to be mobile, and it's easy. You can pack up, put it in your book bag, and go to and honestly bring it to the studio. So you go to a big studio, you have your laptop and you have your keyboard, and you know, and you can start, you know, composing them beats right then and there for artists while they're in the studio. And then you can pack up, and maybe, I know some, but they do that. They pack up, do that, and then go to the next studio. Just easier. You know, I got 2 laptops. So, you know, I got a main studio, then I got 2 laptops. So sometimes I'll be on the go. So I take my laptop with me and it'll be rocking.
Yeah, I understand. I have 4 or 5 laptops at home. And maybe only 2 desktop computers.
Right.
So I understand when it comes to producing a track or producing a project, you on the go so much, you traveling, you commuting, you going from one place to the next. So you want to be able to do it in a way that is convenient for you to make sure you get that project done on time.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Exactly. Because you might be in Miami, soaking up some sun.
Right.
And you know, and on the sand, on the beach, you know, I done made beats on the beach before with my laptop. So you know, and somebody may say, hey, man, I need a beat, this, that, and third. And all right. Or you might have a client that brought a beat from you and he need the stems, you know, right then and there. And shoot, you be like, hey, I gotta wait till I get back to Atlanta to get to my, you know, my hard drive and everything like that. Nah, I can send it right there on my phone. Now, you know, unless you access the Wi-Fi, hook my phone up to the laptop and track out the track, put it on my phone, email it to him right then and there.
Wow.
Then commit to go right back to making beats on the beach.
Yeah. That's awesome. Ced Wynez right here on the BV Mobile Apps podcast with Sean Garvey. Pro Tools and other software programs that are out there. Pro Tools and Fruity Loops. Let's break all that down.
Okay.
Let's talk about Pro Tools.
Pro Tools.
What is the benefit, or what are the benefits one can gain from using Pro Tools as a producer? Well,
Pro Tools is of course has always been a standard.
What is Pro Tools, by the way?
Well, Pro Tools is a software program, recording program. That's mainly what it's used for. You got producers out there who make beats off of Pro Tools. I haven't conquered that yet, but you know, like I think Will.i.am makes beats off of Pro Tools. That's only no. And somebody else as well that they said that, but I forgot his name. But I know for a fact that will.i.am said he makes all his beats off of a Pro Tools. So you could do that, but it's mainly recording. The good thing about it that most studios record into Pro Tools. So now if you need a bounce down a session and you need to send it to an engineer, whether he's in Atlanta or cross country, across the nation in California or New York or whatever, he can load it up. So that's the benefit of it, because the most studios have Pro Tools. But every program pretty much is pretty much the same. Like Logic is stop. If you record it, that Logic you can make tracks off of. Even though Logic is strictly to Apple, but it's pretty much the same. It's all about your preference and what you're going to get most out of that software. But I use Pro Tools to record. So
Fruity Loops.
I use Fruity Loops. I like Fruity Loops. Even though I used to be on Fruity Loops, FL Studio, but I use Reason. I'm on Reason 10.
Okay.
So I use Reason. That's the I just love that software. But FL Studio is good. Always recommend any young producer to learn FL Studio, because it's easier to learn. Easier to learn, and then you could do a lot of it. They really came a long way. I think they're up to FL 20 something, 2021 or something like that. And it's really a software that you pretty much can go right to it. With Reason, you gotta kind of build your own. Kind of have to build your way around it a little bit. But FL Studio, you get right to it. So I always recommend any young producer to start out with FL Studio first.
And can they be mobile with it?
Yep.
Also?
All that you can be mobile.
Oh, okay.
Pro Tools made it now. Pro Tools made it easier now. At first, used to have to have the interface, the inbox to access Pro Tools and use it, to use Pro Tools. Now you ain't even gotta have that. When I went to Miami in November, and I had to work with my artist and mix a song real quick for him and everything like that. Yeah. And I didn't have to have my interface, because Pro Tools opens without even having an interface now. So that's a great thing about Pro Tools. They done step the game up. First, you needed the we got to carry the inbox. You need that no more. You don't even need that no more, man. So I mixed the song right there, finished the beat. I was like right there, and I was like, shoot, I didn't even need to go back to my main studio in Atlanta. You know what I mean? So I was like, oh, this is dope. So so Pro Tools, DigiDesign really came a long way. They stepped the game up. They seen the competition. They were like, you know what, we better get on board with this.
We talked about the pros so far. Any disadvantages or cons when it comes to using Reasoning and Pro Tools or Fruity Loops or Logic? Any disadvantages that one producer should look out for?
Just I would say there's really no disadvantage. It's all how comfortable you use the software. Some people would say there's a few disadvantages to Pro Tools. Some gonna say, well, Logic is better. I think Pro Tools sometimes have it can crash sometimes. There's just I guess depends on your what type of computer you have with latency and stuff like that. Of course, we get a little bit more technical, but I heard that before. I haven't heard any cons about Logic, because I don't work off Logic. I have a PC, so I don't even have a Mac. But Reason, what we had a problem with Reason with at the time, you couldn't access to VSTs, so you couldn't use other plugins and virtual instruments like FL Studio had. So FL Studio was already up on that game before Reason. So now when they came out with Reason 8 actually, and it's now you can use outside VSTs now. We was like, well, about time. It took you 8 times to do it. So we was waiting. The users was really waiting on that, and they finally done it, and that was a con with Reason at the time. But now now it's just all about what you comfortable working with. So it pretty much you're gonna do the same. A lot of these records that are being made and going number one. They made on FL Studio. They make. Matter of fact, DJ 2 work on Reason. I think.
Okay.
They use Reason. They use the machine.
Mm-hmm.
You know, they give you the MPC feel. They have the MPC Renaissance. I know some people do that. Like the MPC Live. Now you see like the finger drummers now.
Right.
They you know. So it's just all about, you know, how comfortable you are, you know, using and get the best out of that program. Mm-hmm. That's the key of it. Getting the best out of the software.
Yeah.
You know, and and learn how to do everything in that software.
Mm-hmm. We've seen so many producers become successful, and I mentioned their names just a few moments ago in the podcast. They got to the money. They making a lot of money off of their production.
Mm-hmm.
So how can an aspiring producer make money in today's music industry? We broke down the technical aspect of using the software programs, but how can they make money off of this profession? What's the next steps? We talked about the type of equipment one should get starting out. What's the next step after that?
Well, after you get your equipment and you got good, you know, once you got, say, okay, my beats are decent or a little bit above average, you know, and I got my sound right and everything like that. Now it's all about branding.
Okay.
Now you got to learn how to market and brand it, because that's what pretty much you're going to spend most of your time doing. You're going to spend most of your money at. And back then, you know, it was, you know, back then, like, you know, when with Timberland and all these guys was coming up, DJ Toomp and Dr. Dre's and stuff like that, you know, it was getting studio equipment was very expensive. So very expensive. Like, I mean, shoot, it was uncommon to get a whole studio for $1,500. You know, that like now you can this whole room right now you can deck out with $1,500 and you be good to go. Mm-hmm. You couldn't do that back in 95 and 96.
Right.
So and also even to make money then you had to get placement. So basically you had to get on somebody's album, Nas or Goody Mob or Outkast or anybody, you know what I'm saying? Anybody that was already signed to a label. Mm-hmm. You had to really to make money as a producer, you had to have those connects and you had to get on those albums. Now, in today's how to make money now, I know producers now who don't have no placements, they making six figures. Because they learned the licensing game, how to license their beats out. You know what I'm saying? So now it's producers, quite a bit of producers out here now, beat makers now, who make money off their website, or they go like the BeatStars or SoundCloud and stuff like that. They make money right online and selling to independent artists. Or if I heard something like with the Old Town Road situation, the young producer out in the UK, you know, and that's probably was his first placement that he ever. But Lil Nas X he wasn't the biggest rapper at the time, and licensed that beat for $30-some, and it turned into the most, you know, longest running single in the world, you know. So now, like I said, now you don't even have to have a major placement to make six figures in this industry.
Wow.
So
incredible.
So it's great. I love it. You know what I'm saying? You know, it make all the older producers mad, but hey man, you got to get with the game, because that's where it's at right now.
Yeah.
You know, a lot of older producers, you know, they can't imagine, I can't license my beats out for $25-30. What the young guys, they learn, they just, first of all, you got to get the motions out of it. So they like, you know, this is a product like selling soda. You know what I'm saying? So making it, you know, if I sell this beat for $25-30, guess what? I can go make another one. I make one better than the one I just made, you know. So these guys are making some of these guys out here is making six figures, buying houses, you know what I'm saying? You know, buying houses, you know, and everything like that without having not one major placement. You probably don't even know some of these producers' names, but they making money out here, licensing their tracks.
Let's talk about copyright protection. That's very important. How can an aspiring producer learn, or what do they need to know when it comes to making sure that their product is protected? We hear the stories about someone suing a producer or a producer suing this person for copyright infringement. Mm-hmm. I mean, of course, one of the well-known stories that we've heard in our present time is Pharrell Williams, when him and Robin Thicke did the Blurred Lines song.
Yeah.
Right, and Marvin Gaye's estate sued them.
That scared a lot of people.
Yeah. So
that scared a lot of people, man. Scared a lot of people.
Yeah. So how can one be protected to make sure that those type of situations do not happen to them as a producer?
Well, first of all, you learn that under copyright law, as soon as you create something, as soon as you create it, right, you put on paper, whatever, so it's already copyrighted under you. So, as a producer, when you already made that track, you pretty much the copyright owner. Now, to fully protect yourself, just in case, somebody, you upload on YouTube and somebody take your track or whatever, and then, you contact them and you start suing them, or you want to sue them, now you have to get it copyrighted under, you have to go to the U.S. Copyright website and copyright it, like, for I think it's like $35. I recommend every producer don't copyright each beat, each track, because it's gonna you're gonna spend a lot of money. So I would say do like at least like 20 at a time. At least 20 at a time. You know what I'm saying? So like every year I do at least like 50, at a time. I know these 50 to one I got, like every beat on my website is copyrighted. So you can so I would say do it at least, like, if you got 50 beats, just do 50 all at a time, maybe snippet, 1 minute, whatever, and upload it to their website and pay. I think it's $35 or I think it's $45. Pay $45, you be good to go. Mm-hmm. But also know this. This is what you gotta understand too. If somebody want to take your track, they're gonna take it. If they want to take it and use it, copy, they're gonna do it. So it doesn't add protection under thievery. You know what I'm saying? Because somebody want to take it, they're gonna take it. Mm-hmm. Now, once you know that person took it, then you start going through the steps and everything like that. If they still not act right, then I would say go sue them. But if some kid download off YouTube and put it on Spotify, and he only have 1,000 streams, you're gonna spend more. You're gonna spend more money just filing the paperwork. You know what I'm saying? So yeah, it's like it ain't even worth even trying to even go after someone like that. Now what you can do is as a producer is what you can do. Yeah. Now what you can do is, let's say if an artist took your track off of YouTube, you got on YouTube and everything, or SoundCloud, or off your website, let's say they just took it, they recorded whatever, they took it and they put it on Spotify. Now you find they put it on Spotify. I would say contact the artist first. Right. Work out something with the artist. Don't go all willy nilly. Be like, work something out with him. You know what I'm saying? Work out something with him. Things may work out. Now, if he doesn't reply to you or seem like he's blowing you off, or whatever, now send a cease and desist. Right. Yeah. Now send him a cease, but don't send it to him. Send it to the distribution that he used, like CD Baby or what's it, DistroKid and TuneCore. Send it to them, and they'll take that down. So that's how you hurt him in his wallet. So wow. If he ignore you, whatever, send that cease and desist to TuneCore or CD Baby, whoever he used to upload that track to, and they'll take that down. Matter of fact, they think DistroKid would take all his music down, so you mess up his money. Mm-hmm. You see what I'm saying? So I always tell artists, listen, if the beat is $25, just get it for $25. Don't take the track and then you don't want to risk taking all your music down from these streaming sites and get banned because you decide not to pay for a $25 track. Yeah.
See, the theme of this interview and this podcast is for producers to learn how to make money, not to lose money. Exactly. We don't want producers to lose money while they're making money, because in the long run, if you don't follow these steps, you're going to end up losing more money than actually making more money. Mm-hmm. So it just only makes sense that we talk about these things during the podcast. Once again, for those who are just tuning in to the BV Mobile Apps podcast, we're talking to Ced Wynez, music producer, songwriter, entrepreneur. You've been doing this for a long time. Mm-hmm. I want to talk about sampling for a moment. Okay. Sampling, a very major, important thing that a lot of producers have done for, I don't know how long, for so many years, for so many decades. And there have been a lot of hit music, a lot of hit songs, a lot of great songs that have came from producers that just happen to reinvent that particular song or that melody that you heard from years ago. Can that make or break a producer coming up in the industry, and will that allow them to make money in the music industry by sampling in today's industry?
The same rules still apply in today's industry with the sampling. That's a tough one, man, because if you sample a song and it blows up, it can help your status as a producer, definitely.
Yeah.
They be like, oh, man, and then you'll get, but for far as not for money, that's where it's going to hurt you, like for publishing, because remember, a song, as a producer, composer, what I'm saying, you get 50% of the song because you made the music. Mm-hmm. Now, whoever you sample, whether it's Marvin Gaye, whoever you sample, they can come back and they can take majority or pretty much. I heard stories like take all of your, take all the publishing.
Wow.
And of course, when you sample this, it's the label's responsibility, or whoever's going to put the song out, it's their responsibility of clearing the song. So really, it's not the producer's job to clear the sample, but just know that when you sample these records, and I'm a sampler, so just know when you sample these records that the person, the state or the label or whoever. They can come. Whoever owns that music that you have sampled, they can come back and take pretty much all of your publishing. So it definitely can hurt you in the pockets in the long run. So just be mindful of that when you start sampling these records out here.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying? But it's in hip hop, so it's not going anywhere. Mm-hmm. Sampling, it's not going anywhere.
Yeah. But what are your thoughts on artists sampling music in today's music industry? They pretty much are recycling the hits that were made before, but now you hear a lot of the classic songs being remade and reproduced by the new producers and the new artists now. What is your take on that?
I like it. And it's nothing gonna be better than the original. So I guess if the artist is using the song they sampling, I know their mindset is not to make it better than the original. I guess to add their own spin, their own spin to it. I think it's cool. I heard some really cool records that was sampled, that was like and that was done in a way. I was like, oh man, I like the way that was sampled, because some producers they can take the same sample and they can sample it. It's so many ways you can sample it. Then with technology now, with the software, man, you can add filters, effects, and do all this, and really manipulate that sample to the point where that either it's either unrecognizable or it just sounds different. It just sounds different.
But is that something you would recommend to new producers or producers that are starting out? Should they start out by remaking music and sampling music until they get to that point in their career where they are like, you know what, I'm not going to sample any more music, I'm going to be original moving forward? I mean, is that something you would recommend to new producers?
I recommend to do both, because you got producers out here who play instruments. They play guitar, play drums, play flute, whatever. They really musically inclined, and they still sample. So I would say do both, especially in hip hop. Like I said, sample is the essence of hip hop, so it's not going anywhere. But what sampling did for me, this is what sampling did for me. I don't know about any other producer. What sampling did for me, and I think it can do this for any young producer, when you do sample some of these records, you will learn the history behind these records. You will learn the history, and I think that a lot of young producers, they're not taking the time to learn the history. So when you do sample, you're learning the history of the bands or the records, and then also you listening. So you listening to the songs anyway. You listen. Oh man, you sample because you love the sound. You love the song. Even if you sample a song back in the '60s, you're sampling somebody like from Muddy Waters to Sonny Boy Williams and somebody in the blues sector. So if you like the music, you love the way that guitar was playing, you loved that note, and also it would you would look up some of these some of these artists. By me sampling these artists, I learned about blues music, which I had never listened to blues, but now I know about, and I started looking at the history of blues and everything like that. So, these young artists, I would definitely do it. And then learn. It would definitely teach you. I still go to the record store. Still go to down over the little 5 Points, go to 2 record stores, Criminal Records and I think Wax. And still go dig through the crates.
You brought up a good point. Learning the history of music, from blues to jazz to even gospel, rock and roll, is that important for a producer to learn the craft, to learn the history of music and the other great producers that came before them in order to make money in today's music industry?
It's very important. You learn how they made money. You learn how they made money. You pretty much learn what that industry was in that time. Then it started morphing into the 80s into hip hop. Cause then you realize like the who's Marley Marr and who's another producer back then, like Curtis Blow, these cats that sample some of these guys back then. And then now you get into the Dr. Dre's and the J Dillas and Kanye West's, where they sample these people. So you start learning. Then after a while, you start learning how these records were made, how these records were made, and how these artists was learning, how a producer. Then you start learning how did a producer make money in the 60s? How the songwriters in the 60s made money?
Another good tip is to go to some of these local owned record stores and picking up vinyl.
Exactly. And I'm gonna tell you something about this.
Okay, let's go.
Let me tell you something about this.
Let's go.
This is a lot of people don't know. See, like now the producers the producers go online and they get the songs like off of YouTube, or they go on iTunes, or they go they download the songs like from some of these online stores and stuff like that. Now here's great. This is why it's important to still dig, because only 10% of all of vinyl is only online. So you go to a record store, you may find a gem that they haven't even put that record online. That's why it's still important to go. If you're a sampler, which I am a sampler, I still go and find these records. That's why now I got a record player in my studio, because I still can sample the records, because guess what? I may not find this particular band online. Right. I may not be able to find it on iTunes or some of these online retailers. They might not have this album on there, but guess what? At Criminal Records, they'll have it. Or go to Wax, they'll have it. All these other record stores around that's still around. They may have these albums. Or you go to, guess what? I found records at thrift shops.
Yeah, they're still around.
Yep. Thrift shops, garage sales.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So, so if you get into sampling and stuff like that, you got to remember only 10% of all of vinyl records is only online. So, the 90, you got to go digging.
Yeah.
You got to go digging.
You got to do your own diligence.
You got to do your own diligence, man.
Yeah. How producers can make money in today's music industry. There are producers listening to us right now, and they are saying to themselves and to us, Ced, I want to send my beat over to this artist. I want to send a beat over to Jay-Z. I want to send a beat over to Migos. I want to send a beat to Gucci Mane or to Drake or to Cardi B. How can they go about doing that?
Ooh, that's different. Relationships. A lot of these producers that got these placements they built relationships either with the artists themselves, or they knew somebody that was close to the artist, or they was arm's reach of the artist. So basically, you're a young producer, you have to attend these events. You gotta get out here and kiss some babies. You know what I'm saying? You gotta put in the footwork. You can't stand it. You can't be in the studio 24 hours. You just can't. You got to get out here and make work. And you in Atlanta. So you in Atlanta, or you might be in Miami, or you might be in New York, or you might be in Texas or LA. You gotta get out here and work. Now, if you living in Alabama, or you living somewhere like in a small town, and if you close to Atlanta, Hey man, take a trip. It's like Birmingham is ain't number 2 hours. Yeah. Hey man, take a trip. Get on that Greyhound if you have to. Get on that Greyhound. You know what I'm saying? Take a trip and come on to Atlanta. Find a networking event in Atlanta. Come on out here and work, because you never know who you run into. You might run into somebody that's close to Usher, or close to. You might run into somebody out here, and they might invite you to the. It might be just a spare of the moment. They might invite you to the studio, and next thing you know, who walking in that door? Usher walk in and see, and there you go. There's stories like that happen, but that wouldn't happen if you didn't put in the footwork to get your butt up, to come take that bus ride and come out here to Atlanta, or go out there to New York. So, or wherever you at, you know what I'm saying? So basically you gotta put in the work, because you just never know who you run into, especially out here in Atlanta. You just don't know who you run into out here. So you gotta put in the work. You can't be in the studio, 24 hours, or man, I'm a lab rat. I stay in the studio.
Yeah.
Now you gotta get some work, man.
Yeah.
You gotta go to these events.
Yeah. I remember once upon a time, producers, not just only artists, but producers would walk up to you and say, hey, here's a CD with all my tracks on it. I want you to listen to them. CDs are now obsolete.
Yep.
It's just MP3s and tracks that you can hear online. What is your advice to producers that may still do that, or are they trying to find another route to take other than going up to a person with a CD? They're going to look at, what is this?
Right.
What is your advice?
My advice is that definitely don't go with no CDs, because they just not going to play it. That's just what it is. Even in the flash drives, you taking a chance with the flash drive. So my advice is, man, if you can get their phone number. I don't even have a business. A lot of people, they kill me like, man, why you don't have the business cards? Because you know what? I talk to them, I get their phone number right there. What's your Instagram? What's your phone number? So whoever you talking to, I know some people, they iffy about giving out their phone number. Cool. Get the email address.
Yeah.
If not, get their Instagram. Send them a DM. What's your Facebook? Oh, this and that. All right, cool. Get the name on the Facebook. You know what I'm saying? And then what's important, do a follow up. That'd be the problem.
Okay.
Sometimes producers, they go out and they meet a good contact. That know somebody that know somebody, or may know the person you trying to reach. You may be trying to reach the Migos, and you just met somebody that connected with the Migos. They don't follow up. That'd be the main problem why producers don't make money, or they don't get to where they need to be, because they don't follow up. So my advice to any producer, you definitely don't have no CD out. You kind of reaching with the flash drives. So make sure you get any type of their contact, get a good email. First, try to get their phone number. If they don't get their phone number, get the email. And if you don't get the email for some apparent reason, definitely get their Instagram, all their social media, and find out what they mostly be on. Because some people only use Facebook, some people only use Twitter, some people only use Instagram. So find out what they use most. Yeah, I'll be on Twitter a lot. All right, cool. Where you at on Twitter? And follow them and send them a DM and say, hey, you remember me? I was at such event, this and that, and follow up with them. Don't wait till 2 weeks later. Nah, follow up with him or her that next day. That very next day. Hey, I met you at the event, just reaching out. Here's my information. Here's my number. Whatever. This say, all right, hey, cool.
Right.
Let me know, this and that. Whatever. And build a relationship with them.
Yeah.
Build a relationship with them.
One last thing, and this is what I start to take notice every time I go into my inbox. I get email blasts from producers selling their beats online to people. Is that something you recommend for producers? So, like, say you get an email in your inbox and someone says, hey, I got this beat for $5. Or, hey, click on this link if you want to purchase a beat or my beats from this site. Is that quick money? Can somebody make quick money doing that as a producer?
I would say no, because if somebody just send me a random email, most likely I'll probably never network with that person. So I would just ignore it. So if that's the case, then if you're doing that, if you send it to 1,000 people, probably most of them is going to ignore it. So I went and just, I went and just willy-nilly just sent out an email to people that I haven't even got emails themselves. You know what I'm saying? So you're really taking a chance on getting blocked and really not making any money. You know what I'm saying? Now, if you build an email list with your website and marketing, so you build an email list, then you can do that. And you can do that, and then if you got enough people in your email list, that's the transition into some money. You know what I'm saying? So that has happened, but that's when you marketing, you building up that repertoire, you building up that list. You know what I'm saying? But if I just got this person, they got your email off Instagram or something, because you got your email up there, and they just automatic, hey, I got a beat for $5, whatever like that. Nah, that ain't the way to go. You're gonna get blocked, because I know I'll block you. Just randomly just send me a email. Hey man, I want to buy this beat, or build it. If you do that, first introduce yourself. Hey, how you doing? My name is such. My name is Ced Wynez. I'm a producer in Atlanta. Hey, how you doing? I see how you email your box. I see that you're artist. And if I'm a producer, so if you need any beats, here's my website. Let me know what type of tracks you're looking for. If you're looking for any tracks at all, and if you got any music, you know what I'm saying. You got any music? Please send me a link to your music, so I can listen to it. That has worked for me. Okay. Sometimes I do that. I email an artist and introduce myself, and I say, hey, can you send me a link to your music so I can check you out on Spotify? Oh, sure. And they send it to me. I check it out. I say, hey man, I like this record number 6, track 6, name Get the Money. That was a dope record. And they're like, oh man, I really appreciate it, man. Yeah, man, I'm a producer. Yeah, oh, all right. So yeah, do you working on any projects? Yeah, I got something I'm coming out in about 5 months. Hey man, listen, you don't need beats, you hit me up. Man, I got you, man. It works with me every single time.
And that's how you make money.
And that's how I make money.
There we go.
And that's how you make money. It works for me every single time.
Awesome.
Every single time.
So let's review. Basically, you got to get the right equipment. Have a laptop, computer, or a desktop.
Desktop, yeah.
Yep. A machine to connect.
Yeah, a mini keyboard.
A mini keyboard to your computer. Use either Pro Tools or Reasoning or Logic. Whatever works for you. Whatever works for you. Also, it's very important to go and study your music history. Maybe pick up some books. Is there some books that you recommend?
Definitely. All you need to know about the music business. That's the Bible. Pick that book up. If you go get that book right now, it's like 30. Man, that'd be the best 30 bucks you ever spent in your life. You go to any bookstore, get online, Amazon. I got mine at Barnes and Nobles, so you can go there and get it. Get that book. Every producer, every artist, I don't care who you are in this music industry, get that book.
Right.
You get that book, you pretty much don't need anything else. You get that book, you don't need anything else. So definitely get that book, study your great, study who influenced you, whoever that is. It could be Timbaland or some new guys. You got London on the track, and I think it was 30 Rock or Rock 30. I forgot his name. It's so many, but
yeah.
It's a few young producers. I like DJ Mustard. I like his production.
Zay
Tobin. Definitely love Zay Tobin. I like Zay Tobin, and he plays.
Mike Will made it.
Yeah, Mike Will made it. So whoever study those guys, see how they do it and everything like that, and learn.
Nice.
And once you get good, start putting your stuff online and start marketing, and then start hitting these events that's in your city.
Yeah. Branding.
And branding.
Branding
is very important.
Yeah.
Very, very important.
Awesome. Beats by Ced is available online. It's your mobile app, courtesy of BV Mobile Apps.
Yes, sir.
Talk to us about the app real quick. What can they expect when they download the app?
So when you download the app, you pretty much, you'll see what I got going on around Beats by Ced, some of the artists I work with. I even put on there some of the blogs that you can read, some stories or a blog. I might have wrote it and everything like that. You can read and everything. Pretty much post. Also, it's connected to my YouTube, so I do upload to YouTube frequently with new beats and new content, so you can definitely check that. Check out some of the pictures and everything, some photo shoots I did. I'm for I'm really gonna be up. I'm shooting a video on March 22nd for my new single, so that's definitely I'm gonna be uploading content to the app. So make sure you download the app. It's in all of the stores, Google Play, Apple Music, and Amazon. So definitely, I really appreciate BV Mobile Apps.
Yeah,
y'all do, man.
We're awesome,
man. Y'all awesome, man. You provide a way for artists and DJs and radio hosts and to have an app.
One-stop shop.
Exactly, man.
Yeah.
Man.
Yeah. So before we let you go, Ced, we like to do this thing called Fun Facts. We haven't done it in a while. We haven't done it in a long time on the BV Mobile Apps podcast. Because I do want to acknowledge more credentials that you have made, more achievements that you have made over the years as a producer. And one fun fact is that you placed 3 tracks for an app video game created by Jump Shot Media called Battle Rap Stars.
Yep.
Nice.
That was dope. I knew a guy in California, shout out to JPZ, and man, he the one that got me the placement. And he said, "Hey man, we building up this this probably like back in 2012." And they say, "Man, we doing this rap battle video game." So I sent them a few tracks, and they picked 3. So, and what's funny is a commercial. I'll probably post that in my app. It's a commercial where a grandmother, they did a commercial. Mm-hmm. So a grandmother they showing you how easy it is to rap on this the rap because the video game is on your phone. So they show you how easy to play this game and do a rap battle. And so they had this 80-year-old grandmother, and she's rapping, freestyling on my beat. That was dope. So
that is so unheard of.
You had this 80-year-old woman who's doing an actual freestyle on my track. That was dope. I said, "Yo, that's dope."
Yeah,
I need to post that video on my app. So y'all definitely download it and see that.
You also provided scores for movies and urban films.
Mm-hmm.
Here Today and Gone Today and Black Hoodie.
Yeah, Black Hoodie.
Yeah,
Black Hoodie was directed by a friend of mine out of Richmond, Virginia, Jamar D.I. Sumter, and he's a movie director. And I've been working with him for many years, and he did 4 movies, and I placed music in all his films and stuff like that. So it's
nice.
Yeah, well, I think one of his films now is like over 1 million views right now on YouTube. It's dope.
And one more fun fact about you is that you are an A&R for One Dynasty Entertainment based in Atlanta.
Yep.
And you work with a production team. You're also the general manager for ATL Track Monsters. Nice.
Beat battle team out here in Atlanta. Well, let me go to One Dynasty Entertainment is head by Hells Yeah. He's an artist out of New York. So we got 2 artists on the label, and one named Hope Trilly. And also the production team I'm part of is called a Rebellion. It's like 7 of us under this production team. We pretty much spread out, you know what I'm saying? With some in New York, some in a few of them in Atlanta. I think we got like 3 or 4 of us in Atlanta, 2 guys in New York, and I think it's one. Oh man, I want to say I forgot what the other. It's a female producer. I forgot where she's from. And yeah, so it's a good 6, 7 of us in the crew, and ATL Track Monsters, yeah, that's our beat battle team. So I'm pretty much getting into the beat battling thing. I haven't beat battled nobody yet, but I've been going to beat battles on the scene and everything like that. And man, it's a different world within itself. It gets competitive, just like a rap battle. It gets competitive, and
I bet
it gets competitive. And a lot of people don't know. Because a lot of people had put down beat battling, but a lot of people don't know that a lot of the producers that did beat battle, they end up in placing records. Because a lot of the artists that made the artists of the A&Rs, they came to the beat battle. So if you're a producer, go in and get in these beat battles too. Yeah, you got some of these dope. Go in and get the beat battles because not only your beats may be good enough to win. Some of them are cash prizes, another way to make money. Also, now you get in front of artists that are there, so they'll come up to you and say, "Hey man, I like you." Even whether you won or lost, but they might love your tracks. Hey man, I want to, how much you sell your beats, and I did so much. you make money like that. Or you can grab a placement because somebody from there is a major artist could be there, or A&R or artist manager could be there, and you just never know. So don't sleep on beat battling. And then if you think you got what it takes, contact me. So
yes,
join the team.
Great leeway. How can people get in contact with you, especially if they want beats from you or work with you? How can people get in contact with you? Man,
okay, for the beats, just definitely go to my website or download the app. Definitely download the app, Beats by Ced, but you go to my website at beatsbyced.com. You want to contact me for if you're a producer, you want to contact me, try to get on the team. Hit me up at I am Ced Wynez. That's IMCEDWYNEZ on Instagram or on Facebook. Also, I'll leave my number. You can text me 770-284-0915. Send me a text. Hey, I'm a producer. I heard you on the show. I heard about this, that, and third. Text me. Or if you artists need beats, send me a text. Let me know what's good.
What's the telephone number one more time?
770-284-0915.
Nice.
Yes, sir.
Okay. Social media handle?
I am Ced Wynez. And I am Ced Wynez, IMCEDWYNEZ, and Beats by Ced, all across the board.
Well, we really appreciate you for taking time to stop by BV Mobile Apps Podcast and sharing this wonderful wealth of information to our producers. Now our producers can take heed of what you convey and go out and make money. So we really appreciate it, Ced.
Man, I appreciate you guys for having me. Thank you.
All right. Thank you so much. This has been another amazing edition of the BV Mobile Apps Podcast. I am the architect, Sean Garvey. Make sure you visit the website, bvmobileapps.com, to learn more information on how you can get your app customized today. That's bvmobileapps.com. You can also send us an email to podcast@bvmobileapps.com and let us know what you think about the podcast. Thank you for tuning in to the BV Mobile Apps Podcast with your host, Sean Garvey, and I will talk to you soon. Take care.
It's a new year, it's a new day, we're starting it over, starting the day.
Thank you for listening to the BV Mobile Apps Podcast with your host, Sean Garvey. For more information about BV Mobile Apps, visit the website, bvmobileapps.com. Don't forget to follow BV Mobile Apps on social media at BV Mobile Apps. Tune in again next time on the BV Mobile Apps Podcast.